Hey, it's Mr. Leatherwood, and I'm going to go over a percent quiz that we did in class, just for you. So we start with this problem. A backpack is normally $64.99, but is discounted to $45.49. What percent of the original does Maria pay? So the way we did this, or the way we talked about doing this in class, is we're looking for percent. And we know that percent is going to equal part over whole. So then I'm just going to put in my part and my whole. So my part is going to be 45.49, and my whole is going to be the original price of $64.99. And then all I have to do is solve for that. So what I like to do, instead of trying to isolate the variable and get it by itself, I just do this division right here, because we know that this really means 45.49 divided by 64.49. And we can all do that, but I'm going to kind of cheat and do a calculator. And I think 45.49 divided by 64.99, is roughly, kind of goes on, so I would say roughly 70%. So again, I just used this percent equals part over whole, which was in our percent video that we did last week. So let's try the next one. One apple contains 80 calories. What percent of a 2,000 calorie diet are we using? So same exact type of problem. So I'm going to set it up the same exact way. We need a part over whole. So the apple out of the whole diet. And then I'm just going to figure out what that would equal. And so if we do 80 divided by 2,000, that equals this, which we know would be 4%. So again, just like in our video, I set up a proportion. You could have also scaled up or scaled down. So one thing you could have done is you could have figured out, how did I get from 2,000 to 100? And I divided by 20. And so I would divide by 20 up here. And x would be 4. And 4 over 100 would equal 4%. So just setting up a proportion just like we talked about on the video. On this one, a sweater is on sale for 75% of the original price, which was $44. Calculate the sale price. So this is a little different problem. You could still solve it using a proportion like we did a second ago, but another way that we solved these was percent times whole equals part. And so just fill in my information. Percent would be 75%. Remember, I'm going to write it as a decimal. Times my whole is going to equal my part, which is what we're looking for. So when I do 75% times 44, P equals $33. So my original price would be $33. Again, I just used my percent times whole equals part. This is another thing that we talked about on our video. Okay, we have one. The $299.99 cell phone Brittany purchased was on sale for 10% off. This goes back to our very first thing on our video of estimation. And so we have $29.99, and we want 10% of that. We talked in the video and talked in class that 10% basically means divide by 10, which tells us that our decimal is going to move over one place. So that means 10% would be this, but we're going to go ahead and write that next decimal. So this would really, I think my answer I would probably put is $30, because this 9 is going to make it all bump up to $30. So this just goes to the very first thing of estimation. You could have also just as easily did $300. We wanted 10%, so it goes over, and we end up getting our $30. Would have been even an easier way to do it. Next one, Jacob paid $100 for a portable ebook reader that was 80% off the original price. What is the original price? Okay, so I'm going to go back to my percent over 100 equals part over whole. We have our percent. They've already given us that. It says Jacob paid $120 for the portable. What is the original price? So the original price, or the whole, is what we're looking for. And we have $120 as the sale price. I would have solved this one using a proportion. And the way I would have done it is I would have come down to 40 over 50, because then it was real easy for me to do times 3 and times 3, and 50 times 3 would be 150. So my original price would be $150. So again, I'm just using these tools in our toolbox, setting up a proportion, using the different things that were on our video. James got 5 problems wrong on a test of 40 questions. What did he do, or what percent of questions did he get correct? So first thing I would have done is seen that, and instead of doing 5 over 40, I would have done what percent would equal 35 over 40, because we could take our 40 questions minus the 5 that he got wrong, and that's going to give us our 35. And then I'm just going to figure out, do a little proportion, and figure out what we're missing. And I believe, I'm going to check here with my calculator. Yep, I get 87.5%. Okay, and again, the way I did that, besides using the calculator, is just figure out how I got from 40 to 100, and I did the same thing on the top. Now we get to simple interest. Karen deposited $375 into a savings account, which earns simple interest of a rate of 4% per year. How many did it end up being in 5 years? So for this should have been simple. We know that simple interest equals principal times rate times time, and our time is always going to be in years. If you remember our video, it was pretty. So my principal would be $375. My rate is 4%. Remember to write that as a decimal. And then my years was going to be 5 years. And when I do that, 375 times 0.04 times 5, I get a whopping $75 in interest. Now again, this was on our video. Interest, as long as you knew this equation, this one should have been pretty easy. Let's look at the next one. Same thing, Padma's buying a car. So we have interest equals principal times rate times time in years. My principal was $19,000. My rate was 6%. We're going to write that as a decimal. And then times 7 years. When I do that, 0.06 times 7, I get 7,980. Again, just using the formula that we know from our video and from the class practice that we did this week. All right, televisions are on sale for 85% of the original price of $4.99. What is the sale price? So we know our percent. We know our whole. We are missing our part. So I would just do a proportion here and figure out. You know what I'd actually do? I think I would set it up a different way. You could definitely solve it that way, but I think I would do 85% times my $4.99 equals my part. I would do it that way. 0.85 times $4.99, and I get $424.15. Yeah, I definitely would use this way. I think that would be easier. Both ways would work, though. That's the important thing to know. You can use both ways. All right. Our last one. An outdoor adventure clothing company. All items are marked up to maximize profit. Life preservers cost $23 to buy from a manufacturer. They sell for $35. What is the percent increase? This was the very last part of our video last week. Percent increase, I'm going to abbreviate here, equals the amount of the increase over the original price. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see how much it changed. So I take my new price minus my original price. That's going to be the amount of the increase. And I'm going to put it over the original. So if we do a little math there, I don't have to use my calculator, but I'll go ahead and use it. 35 minus 23. I get 12 over 23. And if we do this division, because all this really means is 12 divided by 23, it equals about 52%. And again, all we did was use straight from the video, the tools that I give you on the video, and then just plug in the numbers that I need to get my answer. All right, hopefully this was helpful. I hope that we were able to fix a few mistakes that maybe you've made on the quiz. And yeah, have a good day. See you later.